Abusia yabemo bibia kwaba na abusia NPP amayukunu the New Patriotic Party yade a omode jandam bi eba bontia ne nyina efa Iran NHS US ntokwa chese ati atrentwi ewo chese amanone a day in day out inipa akum na chese koso na yade a NPP for jandam ne nyina ne se ende ya Iran and US ntokwa emu ayededende no yade a petrol ene chese diesel ho anase ebo ese eba bekoso na we ena chese Iran president etimi ab0t the message amagana for what you say ono Iran omontokwa omono US ewo no enconcern Ghana chese abushia ensema president no aprogu no ensem no ano ede na Kevin Taylor so akekabia so Kevin Taylor say as omai kronkron Ghana de wosen ke adwene ho ene say ye bebo ye country ne ho by Sunday even amai foforo bi kura kontokwa ahokyere anase asunsunsanso emba Ghana so ema ye ho nkyere na emom MPP 41 ati say Iran and US ekunti diesel bo be yedin petrol bo be yedin petrol ba be short say negativity nkwana ati say wo LPP 43 ma Kevin Taylor so afaya NPP 4 enye asemkuma bushemu waste time kwa me person be akore kwa kutie ensema e course ni me na answer be kon me sure so wonsem kai bia na ore be share a comment section like share jumedi no ma for fransensa into me enkabi meramasi
o ma woti ase se o man na ye ebu no sebio yede no kra na ebu enti se even intokokra na mo se esi wo Iran anase any America for ntokwa ne Iran for air queen say affect the flow of petroleum products cra to Africa and to Ghana. At least you are aware of the reality say enya de obi abegina wenim etwa won tro say petrol ho for 8 months and now petrol ho for 1 year. He has been realistic or see petrol no it's about 2.5 months to be a yebetumi ekipi, and that is how governance is. You need to be realistic, you need to be honest. You need to let the people know the truth. When I heard this man make that statement, he wasn't exaggerating. He was basically being realistic. And so compare the NDC government and in the NPP government. Every single day, NPP are buying car they never saw it through because every single statement they made to you when they were in power, it was a lie. Now, so many Ghanaians, Ghana, and Iran, America, hey, Yedin kawanutum netna Ghana. De obedia no pakwa onyanyaye. Sa America for to bomb Iran. Na se Iran for to bomb Kata. Na se omo ankasa na se obuku omo ho a. Unim bomb bo. Una woto na enda no pamako tena TV so. Na de bia, Iran and the war in Iran, the Americans and say, hey, Yedin. Ghana for mo kasa dodo. America for no, omni Iran for no. Omo anam nim de omo pe. Me te America. And I'm sorry, I've met so many Americans, I've spoken to so many Americans, nobody's even discussing America, any Iran war. A man for Israel, and say, a man for Sanigo Muswa, Munja no Munsanigo Muso. So we should retaliate here. And yet, yet to be discussing Iran and America for war. What we need to discuss is how we can put our country in a position whereby it will not affect us. Why should a fight in Iran between Iran and America be a topic for Ghana for? Whilst I want to aboka, actually with Jimmy Utu Fangu Krum Kwame Nkrumah in the 70s, and only Italians built a Tema oil refinery. And Oka said the reason why into all yet Tema oil refinery no, then say ye de baba junso gum, not ye de baba tu fango, Senebeya debino, Yahumba Chie say. Na ekrobi ku na yentumi nya fango a ye betumi ankasa yi ene fango na de aboye bra. It's when I wake up na some who say Ghana for TV so they are discussing America and Iran, America and Israel, Israel and Iran. The America Iran Israel connection and the fight, nobody is for war. I hate it when people are being killed. I don't like it. I don't want any country to rise over any country. I don't want Americans to be killing people in Palestine. I don't want the Jewish to be killed, the Israelites to be killing people in Palestine. I don't want the Palestinians to be also using Hezbollah or whatever to be killing people in Israel. I don't want that. Nobody wants that. But hey, we are humans. We cannot prevent it, especially where we are from. So bogus, let us sit and ask ourselves questions. Why are we today discussing oil beer and the Iran say own release? Why are we not discussing say and we are sufficient when it comes to oil and we are good? Now, Edu Tamaklo, the healthy baby. Very, very nice baby. Akra yawuna nimu edua odidi years sika fi friend Edu I etono koso ani asodo walbotium. Now, this guy has been straightforward with you. Ghana government say they have enough. It is sitting there. They are hoping that what? It will not get to a point whereby we wouldn't have fuel. Our petrol bobe kosro. Now, we are not even supposed to be mad. We are supposed to be asking questions. This is the timer. The so-called intellectuals now. Sebio, majority of you don't have any better job to do. You sit on radio and spill nonsense. You spill shit every day, every morning because you have no job. This is the time you need to be asking the system. Why are we here? Why are we panicking as a nation? Why are we even talking about fuel shortage whilst we have thermal oil refinery? Why are we doing that? Time when you discover oil, how much oil do we produce in a day? Do we have enough oil? We as a nation, when we refine, we should be able to be sustained when it comes to oil production. These are conversations we need to be having now. Now with Jimmy Titi radio so and you see and Donald Trump and you see and then Netanyahu and you say I'm saying for Jimmy Konwa unim de akoso unim de akoso Iran unim de akoso America unim de akoso Israel for the chrome Palestine for unim de omukom. You know, young people are being murdered, people are struggling, people are trying to make things work. So unim economist, when I also we are intellectual, this is the time to be asking the system questions. Now look at this. Thermal oil refinery, a car, Akuffo to $517 million. $517 million. What do Jimmy T radio so discuss Iran and the American tokwa? What's Ghana? Emma, the first president of Ghana, Akroma, to be a refinery in the 60s. In the 60s, and a Kwame Nkrumah see thermal oil refinery. We sit here, a government just left power, rendered thermal oil refinery redundant. Thermal oil refinery for 8 years, they did not work. Government, a MPP government, Napo, Kennedy Japan mo, Bawumia in the group, they turned a thermal oil refinery, almost turning as storage for their own personal products. These are things we need to be discussing. Before 2017, MPP ever power, thermal oil refinery, it was working. Clinker, nine ye juma. A word that come, they merged the thermal oil refinery and the boss. It was working effectively. We saw progress. Yeah, handed power ma in the we left power. We gave power to them in 2017. Ever seen there and the car at that tour. 8 years, tour never worked. $517 million. We are sitting in Ghana discussing Iran and American war. Yeti Ghana. Emma Anopa, ni beer TV, ni beer radio. Now comforted to say we are intellectuals. We can read. Now, if you can read, does it make you intelligent? Look at home. Look around you. We become self-sufficient when it comes to oil. How can we? We are not a country too far go. Yes, sorry, I said the Nyansa chain will be Yenimyansa chain will be Yenimyansa chain will be any Tihano, and then to cost you be close to or Maya ye two petrol, yet your minimum air discuss say, hey, and yeah, petrol because through not when you're Jimmy Phobia or your energy aspect. Now, energy aspect now, you're not saying Utumu of Fuibi, no, I bet not radio. So this guy is an energy expert. So what's your energy? Abe expert. Now you're going to need, and you cannot direct. You cannot let your conversation direct people who lead our energy sector to make sure say we the energy now yeah. I'm talking about petrol. And to me and refine it. I'm wire now energy expert now. You know what you're saying. You are expecting and say, unim say Iran, oil, unim say America for any Iran eko, and then my energy expert, we Jimmy for. When Jimmy Dodo, Ghanaians, we engage in unnecessary conversation. Totally unnecessary. Conversation and yan se bienim. Or sorry anopa onidi ye. Or sorry anopa onye jumanye ye. Neighborhood oti gate choki insoto anoti tensueni. Our house is flooded. Ni ufing the nisa poncheria yetiali baby. Kwasiato on discussing what will change the environment or the kwasiato what discuss Iran and America. Unim the amount of oil and also petroleum product America has store. Do you know? So America ni Iran kasi omo kwa na Iran kasi on produce oil bia or blocky bia. Do you know American can still survive? So that shouldn't be our priority. We should not get up in the morning and the whole day yet TV Sunni radio so adanya America ni Iran ko senka yawo enough oil ya bon ho ban yetumi refine. Who should be worried about America and Iran? The only part that we should be worried is enquirani in bad time. That is where my concern is. Mr. Metesi to bomb to baby. I am looking at Akroma what is me ba age, you know. And when I'm aging home, young boy, young girl be all me ba age. The Akroma film. Every time I look at pictures from the Palestinian state near the idea, those are the pictures disheartening. It's tough for me to watch because I put myself in that position. I put my kids in that position. And then the mommy feel say, when hame. But it's not about oil in your where Jimmy, utufango, you are sitting in Ghana discussing say in Tokobia Sinti, your fango nkosro. And when you hear the MPP communicators, we are happy. In Tokone see Iran no, any American no, and Koso Senate 2025. The same MDC now mobile building to my oil refinery and the Atamils and the Mahama na omukoye no. It is back again to rebuild Tema Oil Refinery. It is back again. Oh. Thank you very much.
All right, abusuanti sem na mobi ene ekokoti no na Kevin Taylor ade to aso na chese o kan Tema Oil Refinery ho asama wo chese da Tema Oil Refinery we a NDC abana say Atamos apenso omoba ebesi ye na eyade a NPP by no eyade a komu collapse da Tema Oil Refinery sanse eka nkofo we prugu no na nye kaketwa enna me no kase NDC aban under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama omwetima sabisum apija Tema Oil Refinery mu a chese Kevin Taylor nsema ode to aso na busua na esewani ensese kachewa o chese se entokwa esibebe na nka o se NPP communicators nkomo tenase a nkomo be share ideas se bia se ekwan bi se ne fa ebetima boy ho ban ama eye Iran and US ntokwa npo intimi have effect on Ghanaians no and as a Ghana as a country no omonye na emum nsem a ehunhia and as ensem fata enkwa no mo discuss a Kevin Taylor nsem ode to aso na busua ensem no ano eden ntimba pese mami akona kwakuti eye Kevin ekogbe Taylor nsem a ode to aso
the same NDC na yedidi omatam and Atamils and the Mahama na omu change Tema Oil Refinery started say eye adwuma no omudema MPP nkwasiafo na almost say no for 8 years no. They are back again in October. They want to start putting TOR to work. TOR Saba start juma. Do you know the number of people who are going to be employed? You have for MPP for you have for CPP for you have for Alankash and Kwara you have for NDC for where any conversation that we need to have. At least this government is being proactive. This government is thinking. This government is making sure, say, Adina MIA, you're a third world country, no? This government is trying to find solutions to take us out of it. In 2016, Mama Cho, let me take you back a little bit. This is 2016 under NDC. Watch this.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the business news segment on News 360. My name is Martin Nasiedudate, and here your business is my business. To the details now, the Tema Oil Refinery TOR has begun exporting refined gasoline to the West African sub-region. TOR raked in over $2 million within 3 months after processing 2 million barrels of crude oil. Acting Managing Director of the refinery, Kingsley Kwame Iwuadako, attributed the turnaround to a successful operational restructuring. TV3's Josephine Frimpong has more.
The alien Tema oil refinery had faced serious challenges until a new management took up a vigorous restructuring exercise in January this year. TOR lost all its key engineers and technicians to giant oil firms in Kuwait and Qatar during the challenging period. Tema Oil Refinery has gone through serious operational challenges, from frequent shutdowns to worker agitations and the infamous TOR death. But today, management say they have a better story to tell. The refinery has now come alive. The refinery since January has received and processed 2 million barrels of crude oil, bringing in over $2 million. Acting Managing Director Kingsley Kwame Iwuadako says TOR has come out of its challenging past.
What B0t did was to go into an agreement with the refinery, where the refinery would process crude oil for B0t on a tolling basis. Instead of importing refined petroleum products, when we have the opportunity to work with a refinery which is also owned and run by Ghanaians, why don't we switch to importing crude oil? Have the refinery refine and process it so that we secure our jobs in country.
He explained how TOR began to export refined gasoline.
We couldn't predict how well the refinery would run, so we didn't curtail our refined petroleum product imports. Now, bearing in mind that when we did the initial projections, we were hoping to get 35,000 tons of gas oil or diesel from the first 1 million barrels. We got 63,000 tons. That immediately created a storage problem for us, and it was the same for gasoline. So we had to export.
The TOR debt, which currently stands at 1 billion cedis, is expected to be defrayed by the close of the year, following an agreement with 4 banks to pay as bond for 10 years. With the feet chalked up, workers and management had a lot to celebrate about.
In 2016, before Iwuadako NDC Iwuadako was appointed by John Mahama, and he did a marvelous job. He basically put TOR back to business. They were actually producing 2 million barrels. They were producing 2 million in just 3 months. They were making $2 million. And this was an operational agency the NDC handed over to the NPP. For 8 years, TOR did not refine one single oil, a cup of oil under NPP for we are. And they think we have forgotten all these things. The NDC is back again. Now what are they doing? They are back to revive TOR. They are back to revive TOR again. Oh. Are you going to allow these NPP piglets to come back and destroy it? No. And that is what we have been teaching here. That is what we have been trying to let you understand. Anytime say and the metro, who the MPP is or what the MPP is. In fact, it's not who, what the MPP is. So we need to support this government. We need to support that intention to do good to us. Because when they are able to put TOR to work, some cases TOR and starting by October now, do you know the number of Ghanaians who get work to do? You have no idea. And we sit in Ghana, na debiano, yama MPP for when we build as a people, when we build as a nation, when we build as one people, ne more opportunity no mabeseno. And that is what they do every single time. Debia. Yet to Akroma TOR et now for 80 years. They took money and almost say ye be sent you oil. Mokai sent you oil. One district, one factory. They gave Sentio on Common Sentio oil close to $350 million. Omoba and almost somebody oil company, biaba refinery company. Your friend is Sentio oil. Aya kusibuatin kromfowe on the Chinese nibi and boom and almost Omoba see Sentio oil. They built Sentio oil next to TOR. Na abanya wunim nyansa wonya kwasia. Adena wo de wo sika ete ye no. It is sitting there. It can be put to work Wait, wama obi ababe wasabe build another private oil refinery. Ewo ton chain. What are you trying to do? It means that particular government is trying to collapse what the nation built. And that is what the NPP represents. It's Yatiana, Omwakache say, oh, Chinese Libya baby oil refinery. Now, or no Chinese in a private investor. No, Yasad in the company na koshe one district, one factory, I see, a man $350 million. Near to Akroma, these people, led by Kasongo, Afenyo Makin, last minute, time on free power, they wanted to push it through. And the NDC for stopping Omo. How can a Chinese ever gather so obey investment or no be oil refinery? Near side the oil refinery na question one district, one factory, I see. Near say Yamano had a tax exemption of $350 million. Near to Akroma, nani pabi kemu say I and the MPP there omwana Yamamo Bedi Ghana so near Yenyan. Are we crazy? Now NDC is back again. And they are back to do what is right. They are back to put this country back on track. They are back to put TOR to work. Now we all need to support the government and support whoever is going to lead TOR to make sure this becomes a reality. Because when this becomes a reality, any young person or anything about oil, anything, whatever engineering, whatever, petroleum, what they have at least. They are convinced to say, we nya GMPC ejuma nyakra, obetumenya ejuma oto aye. And that is what we have to be doing. And you see, sad way, we need to protect it for the next 42 years. Because John Mahama ni NDC for estate, Emma TOR start ye ejuma. I will see a to Obama NDC sa no protect it TOR. Because the day you vote against the NDC, TOR will be gone. Meaning, all the people who will be employed and the NDC, they will all lose their jobs. This is strategic. A strategic investment the government, you and I, we are going to invest in. So we cannot put our money in and allow these criminals calling themselves NPP to come back and turn TOR into their storages. Because time na MPP wa power no, Kennedy Japan, Napo, Bawumia, MPP as a political party, they turn TOR to as their storage. So they were not allowed. The reason why 8 years, TOR and Yejumane say, MPP for no, TOR containers na, I was say a store oil gumu, na refinery store gumu no, and na omo store omankasa, omo oil gum, and make omo diesel no petrol. Indeed, what they did was that they always made sure, say Ghana yes or sign contract to be na new managing director, about the new ideas about, they will find a way to halt it. Because the moment they allow that to happen, no, it means omunya storage BM. So for 8 years, the NPP as a party, they turned TOR into a storage container. Omunyina ehona no mu petrol gu. Omunyina ehona no mu diesel gu. Yantia na napoka kire say.
All right, I was trying to just win in some also our political highway, so to say. Kevin Akroma detailer about blasted MPP gurus are what you say. Iran and the US in Tokano and far Ghana for you. In Tebeya MPP for and come on into and a dark jandam hununa or more person by the bomb which say fuel prices about kosu isanse Iran and the US enyantokwa sebi dansem no eyinsem hunti NPP for enka omanu tum namum omondwendwene sene omano ebetumpo ama impo seda entokwa na betima have effect on Ghana enye so much abusuya Kevin tell ansem a ode betu dwane nansem no ano eden madam asenam de mosi asem de penie emekuti sema ekoso political highway so POG Media madam ase.